Shit, people, welcome back to another episode of that late night After Twilight Hours podcast. I am your host, ArtofLunatik, and I'm over here with the one and only Rob the Snob, aka my co-host.
Hey there, guys. Well, I gotta work with this guy.
This crazy person.
I don't know about that.
So how you been,
You're the
man? You
crazy
good?
one.
No, that's what I meant. That's what you were saying about me. That's all I was saying.
Up here, it's always good.
I hear that in Chicago. Well, it's hot as fuck over here in Cali, so it is
What
what
is
it
the
is.
temperature so far?
Outside it's 75, but I think we hit 100 earlier. So,
Hmm.
I live in hot ass Riverside, so you already know how it is out here.
Yeah, out in the desert.
El pinche desierto. Yeah, definitely that desert life.
That's our life. It's always good.
So what's up, man? You heard the latest news?
What do you have in for today?
Man,
for all of our people that are listening over the radio waves.
So apparently, I think they might have found them aliens, man. Them aliens you was looking for, bro.
I've been looking for aliens, but you finally found somewhere, or
something.
Are you still going back to that Las Vegas video that you're always talking about, huh?
Don't hate on the Las Vegas, man.
But you're always saying, it's like, I can understand what they're saying.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand what you're saying. But
anyway, go back, right?
Now, but see, the scientists, the scientific crowd, the scientists, bro, they found potential evidence, bro. Like they saying Dyson Sphere is collecting energy from one of those stars, and they found it in I believe, the Hubble telescope or something.
Oh, no way.
Right. It would be the ultimate solution to the energy problems of an advanced civilization.
They found a solution for energy?
Yeah. Solar energy.
Wow.
So
how do they do that?
I don't know. Well, first of all, a British American physicist named Freeman Dyson. That's what the Dyson Sphere is named after. It's Freeman Dyson.
It's not the vacuums?
No, it's not the vacuum. That's a totally different Dyson. And it's not Dyson from Terminator 2 either. The black dude that made Cyberdyne and all that. It's not the same Dyson. Just to be clear. Different Dyson. But yeah, so he's the one that theorized about it. And then apparently, as of late, they seen a star that might have a potential Dyson Sphere revolving around it, taking the energy. So, what are your thoughts on this? Is it too Star Trek or the Borg, or what's going on here?
It's quite interesting. If they found some kind of alien life, how do they do that?
Well, they have to measure infrared radiation. It's because the theorist stated that the sphere should be giving off some kind of radiation, some infrared radiation, right? So that's how they're able to see, and that's what they call it. He added that, but he also added the infrared radiation by itself would not be enough to conclude that it's some aliens, stealing that damn energy from the just like aliens do. They just be thieving motherfuckers, but stealing energy and shit.
All these aliens that come here to Earth, I mean America, they're still they're stealing energy.
Well, not the ones here, the ones in some far ass, other
place.
I don't know if it's actually within the Milky Way or a different galaxy or what.
You're venturing into Star Trek.
Yeah. Well, we might as well. I mean, that's what sci-fi, it predicted AI, did it not? And aren't we in the age of AI? They taking jobs, they're making AI movies, AI artists, AI writers, they taking jobs, bro. So
I didn't pay for a alien movie right now.
Alien Gonzalez.
That's poor guy. But really, they're really stealing energy from the sun or suns.
That's what they theorize. That's not actual. I mean, it's not a fact. To be clear, as they say, it's difficult for us to find an explanation for these sources because we don't have enough data to prove what the real cause of the infrared glow is. They could be Dyson spheres, Robert, because they behave like our models predict, but they could be something else as well. And I think you're in that crowd. It leans towards it could be something else as well.
Oh, so it could be. Did they mention what it could be?
Could be a natural cause explained by the infrared glow and the unlucky alignment of their observation. So that might be, it could be a human error, bro, for all we know, man.
Mm,
It says with a galaxy in the background overlapping with the star, the planetary collisions creating debris, or in the fact that the stars may be young and therefore still surrounded by a disk of hot debris, which planets would later form.
Hmm.
So it's very inconclusive evidence, like this kind of shit usually is.
so this is news?
This is newsworthy, sir.
Wow.
Well,
So you can just make up some stuff and then come up with it, right?
that's what our world revolves around, bro. Theoretical science.
I was just looking at our podcasts and, I did a quick research and I seen that the dark spots, the top right hand corner of the screen,
Right.
seen some ghosts.
What are you talking about?
You can theorize about anything, right?
You gotta have some data to at least hold weight in your theory. You know what I mean? Like there's a, you know what I'm saying? There's theories for everything. A string theory. Am I right?
Okay.
I mean, what do you think about quantum physics? I mean, that was theoretical, but they found evidence so to support their theory. So you know, this is how the scientific community works. They have to have some kind of data to support the theory, and they have data that somewhat supports the theory.
Hmm. They're all theories.
They have to be theories. I mean, but they're still theory. Just because the theory is a so-called theory, they still use it. So, what do you think about quantum computing, by the way?
Yeah, it's getting there. I don't know
So,
much about it.
I read up a little bit about it myself. It's interesting the way they make them. So, for a quantum computer to actually work, they have to put it in a quantum state.
Hmm.
So, if you know anything about quantum things, it has to be done at a really extreme temperature. So the majority of a quantum computer is basically a fridge, and it has to get really extremely cold for it to even compute on a quantum level. Isn't that crazy?
So it got to be cold and hot.
It's a very cold computer that they have to do, and it it works on a quantum level because it's theorizing, I guess, in quantum, you know, quantum
Very,
mathematics.
it's running very hot. So you got to cool it down.
Yeah. Somebody was like, I forgot where I read this, but somebody was like, well, can't your brain be technically maybe it's a biological quantum computer? And then
Hmm.
somebody else was like, probably not because it would have to be in a quantum state to behave that way. And so that kind of threw that out of the water.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's interesting though. Interesting to ponder about.
I don't know very much about it.
And here's one that I'm gonna show. I'm gonna throw a left one at you, bro.
Oh no. You're
Curveball, if you
always,
will.
what do you think is
Nah,
baseball or?
oh, we're gonna get there soon. We're gonna get to the baseball, but first we got.
Oh,
I made
jeez.
that reference for a reason.
Oh my gosh.
But
You and your
anyway,
baseball.
hey man, don't hate, don't hate. It's a national pastime, America.
I need some hot dogs and popcorn.
All I got is pizza. I'm sorry.
Uh, Fine, I'll take the pizza.
So, what do you think about the? There's a new study that suggests aliens aren't even little green men, bro.
They're not?
They're purple people eaters.
They're Willy Wonkas?
Willy Wonka didn't do that.
Oh, the Willy
He
Wonkas
wants to do
are
that.
orange, right?
I actually haven't read this shit, so I don't know what they're talking about. A new study from the
So they're not
Cornell.
Cleaver's elves no
No,
more.
they're not clear. It says a study from Cornell University discovered that a particular purple light fingerprint could be indicative of extraterrestrial life. Kind of like
Aren't
those pixels on your screen that you call dead pixels. Kind of like that.
you weren't supposed to say anything about that?
I didn't say anything about it. Why?
Mm.
While the Earth is often called the pale blue light, thanks to our bountiful oceans, most of the land masses are dominated by the color green.
They
Plants and
say
all that
ocean.
photosynthesis. But what they're trying to say, Rob, is in other places, in other universes, in other worlds, that a different kind of bacteria called photoheterotrophic bacteria could emit a distinct light fingerprint that can be detectable by, observatories. Purple bacteria can thrive under a wide range of conditions, making it one of the primary contenders for life. They can dominate a wide variety of worlds. So that's what they're saying. So it could be purple bacteria out there, bro.
That I mean, in the ocean there is what are those called? The spew ink uh, octopus, right? They're
Oh,
purple.
are you talking about the vampire one? Did you see that one?
No.
Oh, did you see that? There's a crazy thing I seen. This diver was
Uh,
diving somewhere, and this octopus came up to her and was kind of like trying to like
squeeze her out.
get her to follow the octopus. Like it was trying to say like, "Hey, come here," but it was like kind of grab. It was kind of trying to lead her somewhere. So she followed it, and it led to this like old ruin or something. It was some kind of human thing that was left behind, and then there was a picture of a girl that I guess they had been missing or something. It was something like that, and it was crazy because it was like somehow the fucking octopus knew enough to bring her. They seen a human, and then it brought the human back to see the picture of the other human. It was crazy. I should have brought the video,
Wow.
man. Yeah, it was interesting, bro. It's like it was it made headlines like 2 weeks ago or something. I don't know if you've seen that.
Hmm.
It was
I didn't see
interesting.
that.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, octopuses are crazy, bro. Like, speaking of aliens, those motherfuckers would be a good contender, right?
Well, this is why I was mentioning that because they're purple.
Yeah, true. But they could change colors too, bro. Have you seen that? Where they could like take on the appearance of the background. They could camouflage themselves.
Sometimes they look like me.
Yeah, sometimes they look like a Honduran. But yeah, it was crazy. I'm trying to find an article, but I doubt I'll find it on YouTube. But whatever. Be
I mean,
hard to
they can
find.
always say anything is alien form, especially for bacteria, since scientists keep on finding new bacteria.
Well, what do you think the origin of viruses are? Do you have any theory on that?
Are you trying to go into the Wuhan
Trying to pick your brain
COVID?
a little bit. Trying to pick your mind a little bit, see what's in there.
Well, when was it? About a month ago. The who was that? Doctor Fossey, right?
Oh yeah.
He he spilled out the beans in front of the government,
What do
saying
you
that
say?
the COVID-19 was government made.
How shocking.
Dun,
No
dun,
way.
dun.
No way. Do you believe it?
Well, I did tell you that it was government made
Well, I mean, there was
initially.
plenty conspiracy theories when COVID came out, anyways, about that. And I mean, I wouldn't put it past any government to do that kind of shit, especially China or the United States. So yeah, it's a possibility.
I
How about this one though? How about a year before COVID even hit? There was now this one I kept up even when it happened because I remember when it happened. There was a guy that worked at what's that place for the Center of Disease Control or whatever?
CDC.
Yeah, the CDC in Atlanta. This guy committed suicide, but he wasn't known to be like he wasn't known to be depressed or anything. But it was kind of a weird death. I remember a lot of talk about it at the time. It was There's a guy that worked there, he committed suicide, and then a year later we had COVID. So then people were trying to say maybe he knew something in regards to that, but who knows? And maybe they killed him and made it look like a suicide. Kind of like the Boeing. Speaking of the Boeing, corporations are capable of that shit. Because those two Boeing witnesses ended up dead. Like one was
Mhm.
suicide, the other one was a so-called natural death. And they were just trying to say maybe Boeing was behind that because I think it was a little bit too what we call it,
Space.
just too coincidental for my taste.
Hmm.
So I don't
Did you say
know.
that that guy died
Yeah, he did. They said he committed suicide.
because he
The
found
CDC.
COVID?
Well, no, that mean when it happened, we didn't know about it. COVID hadn't even happened. But I
Hmm.
remember that was a big thing. It was on the news. It was kind of a weird death.
Well, I think that for a pandemic to happen, the government it's always involved. They know it
Wow.
first.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not like a pandemic can't happen without government involvement. I mean, the Spanish flu happened, what I'm saying, in the
The
past
Spanish
in
flu
19.
happened because the government came over to, ransack all the
Is that a fact?
indigenous.
What are you talking about? You're just making up shit now. Nah, the one thing that's been hard to find in regards to the Spanish flu is it happened during a fucked up time because we were going through World War One. So it's kind of hard to account for every death, and there's a lot of confusion on where it really started. It actually didn't start in Spain; it started somewhere else, actually. But it got dubbed the Spanish flu. But there's a lot of parallels between the Spanish flu and COVID era. I mean, it happened 100 years prior to COVID, but it was very similar. They were making people mask up and all kinds of shit like that. So quarantine zones, the whole nine.
Yeah, but it all happened because of Europeans coming to the Americas.
That had already happened before. So it was 100 years. It was 1920, man. It was like America was already established, bro. Like that had already happened. Like this is not a colonizer thing. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This
The
is the
colonizers is the government. That's what I'm
no,
saying.
no, man. Like
Yeah.
this was a natural thing, man. This is not a
How?
good. It's a fucking virus that spread, bro. It's like it jumped from one. We didn't have the human defenses to combat it. Therefore, it killed a lot of people. That's it.
Who the colonizers or the
Everybody, what do you because colonizer shit? We're not talking about something that happened. Like what you're talking about sounds more like when the actual colonizers came to the Americas and got the most indigenous tribes and then killed because they didn't have the defense against the measles and all the other kind of diseases that the colonizers brought to the Americas, which accounts for, I forgot how, it was a large percentage of indigenous people, like 90% or something. It was crazy. But that's a different era that I'm talking about. Like the shit I'm talking about is like more recent. I'm saying, but it's a little, like I said, it's a little cloudy on where exactly it started and all that due to just the data that was lost and everything. You know what I mean? Like I said, we are going through war and coming back from that. You know what I'm saying? But speaking of which, bro, a little sidetrack and going off on tangents here. But I played a game in 220. It was a vampire RPG thing. It's called Vampyr and it's spelled with a Y, Vampire Y R. But the cool thing about it, the interesting thing, I didn't realize it when I first played it, but I mean when I got it, I didn't know it was gonna be set. It was set in the Spanish flu era
okay?
in London. So it's set in London and you play as like a doctor vampire. The plot is he gets turned into one by something like that's the mystery. Like at first he doesn't know who turned him, so at first he don't know what the fuck's going on, and he randomly attacks a person because he's thirsty or whatever for blood, and it ends up being his sister. And then she dies, and he's all like fucked up about it. And then after that, he's like, I gotta find who turned me or whatever. And then this medical guy who owns a hospital finds him in London. He's like somewhere in like the streets of London. He finds him, and he happens to know about vampires or whatever. And so he kind of like, look, just come with me, and you could work at the hospital night shift, of course, right? A graveyard, and help us, and then I'll help you find out what happened. And that's kind of like the hitch of the story. You know what I mean? But
Well,
it's cool. It's interesting. It's a for RPG. I think it's interesting because it has like consequences Like you technically, I guess you could kill any NPC, but it has consequences for every area of the city you're at. So
Hmm.
if you're in Whitechapel, part of London, and you kill one of the pillars of the community, it affects everything in that town. So you'll start seeing like the town start to degrade. There'll be like more like vampire monsters and werewolves and shit, and you have to kill them. And it becomes like a more hostile area. And then obviously certain missions will be cut off, and you won't be able to do them because you killed, the NPC or whatever. It's one of the, I thought for it's not a triple A game. It's like a double A game, I guess you could say, kind of an indie,
Really?
but it kind of slipped under the radar. But for RPG, I thought it was pretty good, man. Like in terms of like the things you could do, a little bit repetitive in the gameplay though. But you have like ultimate powers. You know what I'm saying? Like you have like the ultimate once you start, upgrading or whatever.
You never did talk about this video game.
Yeah, I should have mentioned to you. I thought I did, but
Well, you
yeah,
now have.
it's cool that it's set in Spanish flu London because part of the story actually intertwines with that. So there's a new strain, and he ends up finding it, and that's what's turning other people into like these more feral kind of vampires. You know what I mean? And they're called scavs in the game. They're kind of like they're almost like zombies, but they're like feral. They suck blood or whatever. And you could attack them and whatever, and kill them and gain XP and all that kind of shit. You also gain XP, by doing little side missions or whatever. But it's a very atmospheric game too. You know what I mean? It's set in London, so there's always fog and shit going on and stuff like that. But
Very
it's pretty.
dark.
It's really cool story though. Like towards the end, I think you would like how the conclusion, like one of the reveals at the end, it kind of leads to a historical English figure, I guess you could say.
Oh,
So it's one of the kings from England from that time, and I thought that
King
was really
Arthur.
cool. Yeah, it was something like that. It's not King Arthur, but it is something to that. It's close. I'll tell you, close. And I thought that was cool about it. And then around that time's when I got, or I think Final Fantasy VII that came out around that time and all that. So I dropped that and started playing that. You know what I mean? But it's a cool game, bro. I recommend it to people who like old school RPGs and stuff like that. Sidetracked. Sidetracked like a
That's a
motherfucker.
very sidetrack.
Yeah, and think
All
of
due to the
fucking
cold
COVID.
flu, huh?
Yeah, but
All due to the cold flu.
people definitely check that out. Like I'm telling you, especially for fans of the old school game, you might be familiar with it just because it's that old school. I haven't played it though, even though people tell me I should. Bloodlines, Vampire Masquerades, or some shit. It was a PC game.
Bloodlines.
It's kind of like it was a very RPG heavy, like vampire type RPG. I don't know if you played it, but I have a friend.
Nope.
He's a geek for that kind of thing. He told me, but he's like, man, you should play it, man. It's like they got it on Steam, $20. I was like, all right, I'll play it one day. I mean, I had heard about it at that point, anyways, but I was kind of looking for a sequel. But they're making one, but it gets stuck in development hell or whatever, and it's been stuck in development hell because I keep seeing trailers. Like every year, there's a trailer for it, but there's no game. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But so I kind of given up hope on that.
It finally came out.
Yeah. But yeah, you should. Maybe I'll let you borrow it one day since you got a PS4.
Uh, why
But
not?
since we're going in the fictional area of things,
Yes. Let's dive into
let
that.
let's rewind time a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get back to
Where's,
the good old '90s, man.
where's my soundboard?
Uh-oh, your
I didn't
soundboard.
load it.
Damn it. Oh no, you don't need that. I'll add it in post. But yeah,
It's too late. Why say it out loud in post?
I'll add it in post. I'll edit it out. No, but yeah, back in the '90s, man, we was up on that X Files, man, that alien and monsters and aliens, and the Greys and the werewolves and all that kind of shit. Even vampires, bro. Like they even did a vampire show. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
talk
that's
about that
true.
one on this one though, but later. One of the episodes I like, I don't know. I know you were into it because I remember I think I seen a few of the movies with you back in the day.
Yep,
Yeah,
that
you
is
was into.
correct.
No, I didn't like the second movie they made. Remember the one with the pedophile villain, I guess, and they
Hmm.
had to use him for some
Nope.
shit to find the killer. I don't know. It was a bad bad movie. It came out when The Dark Knight came out, like the same week. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a very bad idea. You know what I'm saying?
Killing and killing. No, no, not a good combo.
It's just not a good combo at all. But the Xbox show that I do want to talk about, it revolves around your favorite place, a place that you visited actually, a place that I didn't get to go to, but you have. You got to go with one of our old school homies, the great
Ew.
Johnny. Remember Johnny? Shout outs to
Good old
Johnny.
Johnny.
Johnny from Compton. You know what I mean? Shout outs to Johnny, man. But yeah, Roswell. It takes place in Roswell.
Nice.
Yeah. And so, but it doesn't take place in like in modern Roswell. It takes place in like the 40s after I think the Roswell crash happened or whatever. And so it revolves around, remember the shape-shifting aliens? Then the
Mm,
bounty hunters and all. So it's part of that mythology. But basically when it starts off with a scene and you're in the 40s and there's KKK riding around. You're like, what the fuck? And there's a black baseball team called the Roswell Grays. And so they're just playing. I think it's a practice game at night, and then all of a sudden these KKK members come. You're like, what the fuck is going on? And then a dude, one of the baseball players, chunks a ball at one of the KKK guys, a baseball, hits him, knocks him out. They take the hood off, and what do you see? A fucking
blood.
alien, a
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
alien, bleeding green, and you're like, what the fuck? And then the titles roll out, X-Files. No, but the thing that I think is cool about this, I don't know if people know this, but David Duchovny, the guy that plays Mulder, actually starred, wrote, and directed this particular episode. And I didn't know he was able to, like, I didn't know he was a writer or anything.
You told me about
I
this
believe
many
so.
moons ago.
Many, many moons. Too
Mm,
many moons long
too many
ago.
moons.
Yeah. And so basically we switch back to modern era and you see Mulder, he's looking through like this old newspaper thing in the FBI. He's looking for articles basically, or that's what he claims to be doing because he's like, oh, I gotta look through here, maybe I'll find the old X file or whatever. And he finds one supposedly, and Scully's like, what the fuck are you doing? It's Saturday, we should be out playing or something. And so they kind of have this little, flirty moment or whatever with
No.
fine ass Scully.
Mm.
And then
She was about the only one in the scientific.
yeah, she's on your side. She's one of the skeptics, the skeptical side. She
Hmm.
said, I don't believe in them aliens, them ghosts. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Ghostbusters.
No, 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 no. Oh, sorry. But and so basically they get in a little tussle, a little playful tussle, and he rips the article out of the newspaper, out of the FBI, thing. He acts like he sees it, he rips it out. And she's like, what the fuck? And she finds out that he wasn't even looking at that. She was looking at baseball stats from 1940s.
Oh,
And she's like, the fuck, baseball stats? Like, baseball, what the fuck? And he's like, and he's trying to explain to her how good of a sport baseball game is. That, like, just from the stats, you could read what happened. You could have the home runs and shit that were hit. You know what I mean? Like, he goes on through all this, like, nerdy baseball chat. And then he goes after this guy because he thinks that there's this guy that used to be a cop. He wants to interview him because he found out he's seen in one of the pictures the shape-shifting guy. Remember, he was the guy that looked like a bootleg Arnold Schwarzenegger. Remember, he was like the bounty hunter. He
uh,
sees him in one of the old Roswell pictures. He's like, "What the fuck?" So that's why he starts investigating it. And then when he finds out the cop is all like, he doesn't. He's like, "Oh, you and your fucking aliens," pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't give a fuck about that shit. He's like, "Let me tell you about some baseball, son." Sit him down and shit. And so they talk, and it ends up being that he was protecting this black sports player, baseball player at the time, and he was like really good. But they were scared somebody might shoot him. And the cop, he wasn't like racist or anything. He was just like, look, nobody's gonna die on my watch.
much.
So you could either stay in my cell or I could hang out with you guys in your bus tour while you guys, play baseball and everything. And so he sticks with him and hangs out with him and shit. But at one point, like they're driving, the tour bus or whatever, and they notice he looks at it's like a stormy night, and he looks at the reflection, and the black player's reflection looks like a gray for like a split second. He's like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?" So it's like a little trippy moment, but he's like, "Whatever." And then they go towards the town where they're gonna play ball, and it turns out that there's some Yankees, I think, in there looking for baseball players. But the baseball player guy intentionally plays bad so they won't pick him. And
Yeah.
so the cop is like, the fuck? Why would he do that? You know what I mean? And I think he gets hit by a ball at that point or something. Yeah, it's like somebody knocks him with like a
Somebody threw
ball.
a ball at him.
Yeah, throw a ball and he bleeds green. And so basically on the glove, the catcher glove or whatever, you see the green blood. And so he takes it to a lab to get analyzed. And then eventually he goes on another tour while they're on tour. He eventually does find out the dude's an alien because he shapeshifts in front of him, and then he turns into a woman, all kind of shit. And then he explains to him what happened, and he's basically like, the alien's basically like, dude, I was watching you guys play baseball, and it made me smile, and it made me like, our people don't smile, we're not capable of it, and all this other shit. So he kind of like he's explaining that he kind of like baseball, kind of made him
Helped.
shapeshift in a way into a human in a way, you know what I mean? So he felt more human while playing game ball. And that's basically what it is, but it's like a heartfelt kind of episode, bro. And it's pretty cool, man. It's a lot of humor in it. And one of the guys that's actually in it, the guy I was telling you about, the cop, the older version of him, the actor that played that, just died like recently. And he was old then. So I was like, man, this guy must have been like 90 when he died, you know what I mean? Because he was
Wow.
old. But he was a good actor. He was in other things I've seen too. I think he was in one of those Stephen King movies that came out recently that I watched. He was also in Constantine episode, I believe. So he was in a lot of
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah, he's a character actor. I might be able to find his name on here real quick. Yeah, he was a good actor, man. And so was the other guy. Remember I told you the younger black dude, the guy that played baseball. He was, I guess, a character from the Ally McBeal show.
Is
You
that
remember
right?
that? Yeah, remember that? It was like what was that, like some kind of lawyer show back in the day? It was like comedy kind of
Ellie
thing.
McBeal. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, it was
A
in the
quick search.
90s, like late 90s. It would come on like around the time X-Files would come on and shit. And remember the dancing baby, the ghost dancing baby from the 90s? That was from
No,
Ally McBeal. What the fuck, man? Where were you at?
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I think you were in church or something.
The
In church
Ellie
school or
McBeal
something.
was a legal comedy drama.
Yeah, that's what it was. Y'all remember? It was
Nope.
the white lady was the main thing and shit. Maybe this will refresh your memory. So I guess she always had a ghost in her.
Is this is
Yeah,
I'm
this
not
is
even
Ally
gonna.
McBeal.
I don't think I ever did try to watch this. Oh, this baby.
Yeah, you remember? Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like a thing in the 90s. It was like dancing baby and shit. Fucking baby and shit.
the
That was awful
dancing
CG and
baby.
shit. Look at that shit.
That's
That
that
shit was
was
so
really good
stupid.
back then, man. What are you
Yeah,
talking
back then.
about?
For a TV show anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild. But yeah, so an actor from that show. I didn't really watch that show, but I just knew about this ghost baby thing. But he was in that show and he's in it. He's pretty good actually. He's very
What was it
charismatic.
called back then? The dancing baby?
I guess, yeah. The dancing, the baby to that. What, a ghost dancing baby?
Yeah, no, I don't remember. But I do remember that
Hold on.
downloading that uh, dancing baby.
I'm about to put that dancing baby on every episode now.
Hmm. Yeah, it should be copyright now, right?
Yeah, it's been enough time. But this is the show we're talking about. Sorry for the 480p, 360p. God damn. So there's the alien.
There we go.
David Duchovny
Alien that
wrote it.
turns into black
Yeah, M.S.
guy.
Walton. That's the guy that died.
Back
But
in the
yeah,
day, the
but that cop
technology.
in the show, he really bonded with him or whatever. You know what I mean? So the only thing I thought was goofy was towards the end, because there's like an end shot after, like right before the credits, and they show the old man kind of like crying, looking. He's like the camera's above him, and he's crying, but it goes on for too long, and you're like, it just ends up looking stupid. But that's the only part that. But it's a cool show, man. It's a cool episode. People
That was a
should
good
definitely check
episode.
it out. Yeah, I don't think you've seen it, but you should.
I did watch it.
Oh, okay.
It's just hard to remember the things that happened during that.
Yeah,
Maybe I should rewatch it.
you should. It's a good show. I mean, I always rewatch that one. There's other ones too that come on, but I don't think I'll discuss them on this particular.
Is that lined up in one of those DVD that you have on the right hand side?
Oh no, it's not in there. I think
It's not
the
in there.
movie. Remember the movie I own. Remember the one Fight the Future one. I think I left that one in San Pedro at your house, bro. So it's still there at your mom and parents' house.
Oh,
So next time
I'm
you
just
visit,
gonna
bro,
pick it up.
you can watch it there, bro. So yeah,
Good point.
yeah,
Good point.
But so what you think about that? You hyped for that Alien the Romulus shit, bro? I know
When
we
is that
talked
next
about it
week?
last week. Yeah, I think so. It's in August, actually, next month. Now they're saying there's gonna be popcorn cups, right? You seen that?
Well, they did popcorn for the
Wolverine one.
Despicable Me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And this is it right here. It's actually quite detailed for a popcorn.
Wow.
I thought it'd be less detailed. It's not bad actually.
It doesn't hold much popcorn though.
I would use it like as a coin, as a piggy bank. Yeah.
Is it there- So you're gonna use it as a fist,
Yeah, like eating popcorn like that.
and then you put the butter on it
That's wild.
so it can leak out.
I know it's all gonna be all greasy inside and shit. You gotta wash that shit.
And gotta.
It's gonna be hard to wash that.
Let me get all the salt out of there. Kernels.
So I got a theory about that. Spoiler alert, I guess.
So this Alien Romulus, Romulus. Um, let's watch the preview right now.
The newest one.
Yeah.
Well, I sent you one that they sent. It was like a VHS.
Yeah, but let's.
Hold on, fella. I didn't have that ready. So give me a quick second. But let me explain. I have a theory about the protagonist. So
We'll pull it up.
a lot of the shots. I'll bring it up. Don't worry. Don't worry. They got the IGN has the long version. So let me load that up.
Oh, okay.
And I'll talk through it. I might have it. It was muted. Those clips were muted the last time I played them, right? The ones I played like just now. Like you didn't hear no audio.
I
Right?
didn't hear. You didn't share the audio on it.
Okay, I'm not gonna share it on this one either. So don't get your hopes up.
What in the world?
I'm gonna talk through it. I have to lower the volume on mine though. So this is basically just what old footage of when the first Alien came out or whatever. Because everybody's like, "Oh, the movie's scary" or whatever. But anyways, so what I'm thinking. So what I'm thinking is like the two protagonists. They show that girl, right? So she seems like she might be the protagonist or whatever. And they show that she's friends with the black dude, and he happens to be an android, right? A cyborg or whatever.
Mm.
There's something that they show in this extra footage though, right there. I know people can't hear the audio, but basically they asked her if she had seen the sunset of some kind of world, and she's like, "Yeah, I've actually seen it." And when she says that, the black android dude looks at her kind of weird, like he looks at her like, "Hey, don't say that." And I'm wondering why. Why is he telling her not to say it? And then she kind of like lies about it. She's like, "Oh, only in my dreams I seen that." So I'm thinking, what if she's not even a human? What if she is an android? And maybe what if they're both playing some kind of con? Maybe they're just like they aren't real children of colonists like the rest of the people in this movie supposed to be.
Right.
And they could just be both. Maybe that's the twist. Because there's always kind of a twist in these movies, so maybe that might be a twist with the android.
You think that they might be synthetic?
She might be, yeah. The black dude for sure. Like we already know that. But her
Really? How?
they said it. They even admitted, like the makers of the movie already said. Plus, you see him standing up straight, like when he leads those I think in that one scene where he's like run. Yeah,
This guy.
there. Yeah, and then the way he stands up, like he walks like an android and shit. Like right
Mm.
there, like why did the face huggers not attack him? They went right past him. So I always suspected he was an android, and they already confirmed it. But I think that girl is also the one.
Mm.
Oh, okay, hold on, let me rewind that. All right, now that might look like a meteor or something, right?
I
Yeah.
can't tell because it's like super dark.
Okay. Well, basically, it's a shot of the, and the reason this footage looks so shitty is because it's supposed to be in VHS quality. But basically, you see that rock-looking thing go into the ship bay. That's what they're saying, that is the actual alien from the original movie. He cocooned himself somehow in space,
I
waiting
was
for somebody to
wondering
find him.
why. Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm assuming that's how the alien outbreak happens in this movie, is because they find that original alien floating in that cocoon that he made somehow, or he secreted a cocoon, I guess, out of himself or something. This part of the trailer is more like a them talking about it or whatever. And so yeah, so my other question is, I guess I'm not. This hasn't been confirmed, I don't think. But is Wayland Yutani even the company in this? Because I haven't seen any of the logos.
But what time is this supposed to be?
Well, it's in
Years
between
ahead?
Alien and Alien, so I mean, Wayland Yutani would exist at this point.
It wouldn't.
It would exist, yeah. It already existed in between Alien and Alien. So, but what I'm thinking is like, I'm wondering if there's going to be another company involved as well. Because they said
Mm.
Romulus isn't the name of the ship. I think it's the name of the labs within the ship or something. The actual ship is called something else. I forgot the name of it. And that's the director of it. He made a Evil Dead remake in 2013, which is pretty good. I think he did A Quiet Place or something as well. Or maybe she is human. I don't know.
I
That
think that
shot
she
right
might be a
there
human.
is confirmation of two that he's a synthetic. Because I'll bring it up in another line. I had to pause it right when it shows it. Right after this, I think.
You went too far.
Okay. Damn, that was hard to pause on that. Like it's not letting me. Okay, so when he looks up and his eyes are all looking like white or whatever,
Right.
that's the same thing that David. Remember when David turned off his clone or whatever? I mean, his robot,
The
the
eyes went
Alien
up. Yeah.
Covenant. Yeah, that's the same thing. So he's definitely a robot. But
Maybe
I
it
wonder if he's a Wayland
was high
Yutani robot,
quality.
or is he? I mean, the colonizers are probably Wayland because one of the shots in there does look like the Wayland. What do you call it? The thing that makes the planet air breathable or whatever.
I don't know.
I forgot the word for it, but in Aliens, the sequel that James Cameron made, they actually had this huge pyramid-looking thing that was it. It made the atmosphere breathable, and so terraform. It was a terraform, and
Oh, the terraforming.
yeah. So in this, you actually see a shot of it too. So it's probably most likely a Wayland Yutani colony or whatever. But the ship that they go to, I don't know if that's Wayland Yutani though. That's the one thing I'm curious about.
Mm.
Because like in the Alien Isolation game, that was kind of the thing too. Like the spaceship at first, when you first go to it, it's not Wayland Yutani, it's somebody else. But later you find out that Wayland Yutani bought it out
Hmm. But if this guy is a robot, so why is he sweating?
because they make them real. Well, you haven't seen the first Alien, but in that one, the android in it was a he was disguised as a science officer, and everybody on the crew thought he was human because he was like they even show shots of him eating, even sleeping. So he posed as a human, but until the very like almost the end of the movie, that's when you find out he's an android.
Oh,
Yeah, because they start like he starts glitching out and shit and going crazy. So that was like a major reveal in the first Alien movie. and also in this particular trailer, they showed that some of the humans are kind of fucking with him and shit. You know what I mean? Like kind of like how they did with David and shit, talking shit to him,
Mm.
and Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
Mm.
The one thing that they seem to be spoiled is like we kind of already know that people are gonna die.
All of them are gonna die anyway. So
Yeah, true that.
but this is a planet that has rings. It's
Yeah, I think the first one's
quite
like that
bigger,
too.
right?
Hmm?
And it's quite bigger.
Yeah, well, in the first Alien movie, the planet they found was next to a big size planet like this. It was actually like a moon, more like, and they were and the planet they're by is like a gas giant, kind of like
Mm.
this one. But I don't know if this is a gas giant though. I don't think it is. I think this is actually like a regular
I think
planet.
it's populated.
I see lava flows or something.
I thought it was light.
Yeah, I'm not
And then
sure.
again, this is bad quality.
Yeah, on intentional bad quality.
You have to pick the worst one, right?
Well, that's the one that that's the one with the newest footage though.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because the other ones don't show all this. Because this was footage from Comic-Con,
Mm.
and it was intentionally made in VHS quality, like to resemble, I guess, the original ones.
To throw back.
Yeah, throwback kind of thing. But I think
What
this
was
scene's
that?
gonna
That
be
was the
cool though.
arm.
Yeah, well, it was like, yeah, the ship, like they're making the ship revolve because I guess they're trying to latch it onto the other ship or whatever.
Mm.
So I don't know. Looks interesting.
Should be a good movie.
Should be. I'm thinking about. I want to go to the Alamo Draft House and watch it. That's why
That'd be nice.
you should visit so we could go with Eric and the whole crew.
They'll go to AMC down over there.
Nah, Eric's down to go to the Alamo thing because I had sent him that thing. He's like, oh man, we should go. So maybe if I go to
Nice.
LA, I want to see that Wolverine and Deadpool movie soon too.
That'd be nice too. When is that?
That one's this month. That was like the 28th at the end of the month.
Oh, is
28th.
that right?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I'm gonna go watch it. Well, I'm definitely gonna watch it with my, mites about it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Mm.
what now? I was gonna say, did you hear about they trying to do a Jurassic Park type thing, bro?
No. Or
Except with
maybe I
a
seen a trailer.
no, not the movie. I like the real life shit. The woolly mammoth chromosome thing.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
You're always coming up with surprising, interesting facts.
there is scientists
What was the name of it?
reconstruct chromosomes in 3D. Oh my bad. I thought that
3D
was already.
printer?
Yeah. They also found a wolf. Did you hear about that? Like,
No.
it
The Wolf I
died like
didn't.
I think it was like 100,000 or 50,000 years ago. But this one's a fragment of a skin in permafrost for 52K years. I'm just giving us a marvelous first.
What do you say?
Left by a woolly mammoth. The material has delivered us into the genome, but a three-dimensional reconstruction of the once magnificent animal's chromosomes. Damn, that's crazy because they're saying like it's a new type of DNA,
Yeah,
new
but
type
this
of
won't.
fossil.
I mean, the one that I read was that they were able to pull out a mammoth DNA cell.
Oh, you might be talking about this one, the 2018 Siberian tundra woolly
Yeah,
mammoth.
they made progress on it. And supposedly they're ready to go and clone it.
I feel like that's not a good idea.
I feel
If
like it's, I
if
mean,
if
my
Jurassic
feelings
Park
don't
taught
matter.
me anything, your
My,
feelings, fuck your feelings,
yeah, screw your feelings. There's, we're getting
fuck your
leather,
thoughts.
we're getting hair, and getting some meat.
I'm assuming, yeah, that's what the Neanderthals and humans of back in the day used to eat, right?
Yeah, it
During the
was
Ice Age.
ivory, endless ivory.
It's crazy how alligators and shit survived the Ice Age, isn't it?
The
Like,
alligators, yeah.
because I didn't know that they kind of it's not called hibernation, but it's something like hibernation. Like during when it gets cold, they kind of like freeze up, and that's how they survive through winter and shit.
It's like the frogs.
They also burrow deep inside. They make holes inside like the water or whatever. Like they go in the mud and shit and hide in there too.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's crazy. I never knew that.
Hmm. I didn't know that they burrow down there.
Yeah, yeah. Pinch alligators.
Did you see one of the videos that in one of those Asian countries that
Why I gotta
were
be Asian?
that's what
No, I'm kidding, people. I'm
there
kidding.
were there was a like a lump on the concrete. And then
Mhm.
they started banging on it, and there were about five crocodiles in there.
Oh shit, that's
Yeah, but
crazy.
it seems that they went through the pipes,
They went through the pipeline.
the pipeline. But
Damn.
that's bananas. So you talking about burrowing? That
Yeah,
these guys are burrowing into the pipelines.
they might. Alligators in the sewer, right? That's what the New Yorkers
These
used to
not
say back
Teenage
in
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
the. They made a movie about that shit too by alligators in the sewers. I think it was like a huge alligator. It was a bad cheesy '80s horror movie.
What is this? Spider Man?
No, it's the alligator, the movie or something. I don't know. It's like
Alligator Dundee. There's a different one.
um albino alligator.
Albino. There is one,
Coconut. Yeah,
right?
you haven't heard coconut?
No.
Yeah, oh no.
Coconut dressing.
Apparently they're
Would you look at
ticklish.
that? That's
That's like
be.
their soft spot right there. That
That's
weird.
where you get them, huh?
So if you ever come across an alligator, just rub it like a
Uh,
dog and shit.
I gotta have a toothbrush handy. Gotta have a toothbrush, the yellow toothbrush handy.
Next time you're in the swamp, just bring a toothbrush, man.
You can see me on the swamps. What are you doing? I'm just looking for alligator. I'm making my pet.
No, that's actually in California. This is at the reptile zoo. I think it's in Irvine. And
Right.
that girl's cool though, man. She takes care of all those alligators and shit. Like, it's crazy.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to go check out that zoo one day, man. It's just crazy. So you ready? Ready to see some zoology and stuff?
Why not? Let's give it a
That
go.
could be you, bro. You just gotta bring that toothbrush, man. That's your secret weapon.
That's my secret weapon. Oh, she got a different size one.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta have different
A
size toothbrush for
small
different
one.
size
Damn.
alligators. You know what I mean? So bring one.
That
You know those ones that you clean batteries with. You got to
I
get
didn't
one of
even
those
have
for the
one.
big ones. You know what I mean?
That might damage their leather.
Nah, they got tough skin, man. They don't give a fuck.
Dang, even closes his head,
That's just
his
crazy, man.
eyes. Like, oh yeah, baby,
Yeah, that's what I'm
give it to
saying.
me.
Like that's crazy. And I didn't know that shit about alligators. So I seen this video. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Chill. You should see how they eat, bro. Like she comes in there and she like serves those motherfuckers all kind of food, bro. Like fucking shrimp and all kind of crazy shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Eating all nice, huh?
I'm like, man, those alligators living the life right now, bro.
Give me some shrimp.
Yeah, yeah. That's all I got, folks. I don't have nothing else.
And then we made a good podcast this
A
time
quick 30
around.
minute one. Quick, easy. So quick, so
Quick,
fast, so
easy.
easy. Nah, but yeah, yeah, people check us out. I forgot to mention what the fuck we were gonna like. I forgot to do the intro right because I was gonna give the description out, and I totally forgot.
I'll
But
do
for
it now.
those who stuck around for this part, basically talking about the alien, the UFO shit, but we'll also get into like sci-fi kind of TV and movies and stuff like that, and games at times as well. So yeah, that's basically what this show is gonna be like. What do you guys say, Rob the Snob? You agree with that, or you think we should add more something else?
At this time, I record that again.
It's still in a trial phase, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah.
we got a few topics online, and they will be interesting. So yeah.
We'll get some, hopefully enough less time elapses to the next time we do one, you know what I'm saying? That way I'll have those what do you call it? Those articles and stuff fresh in my head so I can remember what the fuck we're gonna talk about. I thought I had them in notes, but I couldn't find them. I'm like, the fuck. But yeah.
All of this you're editing anyway, so you're fine.
You're a kind man.
Right. It's
Gracias.
fair to say.
Gracias, amigo. Anyways, though, we are out.
See you guys. Till next one.